things like that, I often think about that because I try not to think about nostalgic things because often I think that, I mean, nostalgia can be good. I think we've touched on it before, but it also can lead down a path of like, I'm not saying where did your life go wrong, but where could I've made better choices? So you start doing all that in your mind, which really isn't helpful because you can't go back and change any of it. But do you ever find yourself going back nostalgic like that?
It's so funny because I got into film and video production because I have a love of reminding myself of things that happened in the past and being nostalgic about them. Um, but the older I get, the less and less I look at those things because I still like to document them, but I don't like to bring them up in my mind because I then think, wow, that was like 8 years ago. I really wish I would have known what I know now because then I would have done this and then that. And I would have been so much. Here's an interesting thing. Alex, my wife, and I know you know, but just for the viewers.
Just for the audience.
Yeah. We talk about this all the time, which this is weird. Ever since I've been in quarantine, which has been, Alexa, how many days has it been since March 13th? March 13th, 2020 was 90 days ago. Ooh, 90 days. I haven't been in a car in 90 days.
Wow.
Yeah. But ever since quarantine, I have not worn my ring because I don't like jewelry, but I wear it just make sure people know I'm off the market as if they really are pursuing me. But we talk about like, is this your first life? Like, are you living your first life? Like one of my nieces, everything she sees is like, she's like always in shock of like, oh my gosh, that's like the coolest thing. I'm going to try to figure out. My other niece, I'm telling you, it's not her first life. Like she's just plowing through things and she walks into something like an expert and she's 4.
Wow.
And she knows what she's doing and like there's no hesitation. I'm like, she's been around before.
Yeah, yeah.
I think for Alex is definitely not on her first life because she just like plows through things. But for me, I feel like I'm on my first life. And I hate it. I wish I wasn't because I'm like, I wish I could figure out with these people how they know this stuff so fast.
Yeah.
And one of the so I don't know if you Enneagram, but Enneagram. Oh.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what Enneagram is?
No.
Ask any Caucasian female between the age of 18 and 45.
Okay.
And they will tell you what it is because they're obsessed with it.
Okay. No, I don't know.
But anyway, mine, I like I'm one of those people where I have to get to the bottom of something before I can act in any way on it. And that slows me down so much. And I hate it because I know these other people that they just like, they don't care. They just go. And I can't do that.
I wish I could be one of those like fearless people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure about yourself, but I was thinking I'm the one who stopped myself really throughout all these years. I'm the one that's put the brakes on. And I mean, there's been like sometimes you didn't get the lucky break or this or that, but for the most part, I've been responsible for my own quote failures. And I guess when you learn that, maybe that's when you learn, I'm not going to be defined by these failures. I can choose to pick myself up, keep going. Because I used to think back about the failures all the time, especially when we didn't have any kind of a show or there was like no glimmer of a show. Like not having a show really put me in a depression for a long time because there was no creative outlet. Like during the times you and I didn't talk or I didn't talk to anyone, I was in pretty much a depression because there was no outlet creatively. And I let the failure of Virginia running define my life for those many years. Have you ever fallen into any kind of a thing like that?
Oh yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, we feel like we lived the same life as our first time through, both of us. But it's so interesting because I don't fail well. A lot of people fail well, I don't fail well. I
I
fail
don't.
flat. People fail forward. I fail flat. But I just never feel like I accomplish anything with my life. And then it's interesting because I'll sit and talk to people, and they'll ask me like questions. I'm like, oh yeah, I was a mascot, and I did that for this years, and then I broadcasted, and I did this, I did that, and people they look back on my life with a lot more interest and a lot more fulfillment than I look back on my life.
Same.
Because I mean, it's like
Same.
you had a radio show for 12 years. No, whatever. How? No, not 12 years. 18 years. I don't know how many years it's been. You've done a feature-length film with a one-time A-list actor.
True.
You've lived in some pretty cool places. You've taken some crazy cool road trips. You've met some really cool people. But it's like when you look back at your body of work, you're like, oh, that's pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're in the moment, you're not looking at your body of work. You're looking at, but I'm not doing anything now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I
yeah.
did that and it was fun and I know I'm capable of it, but I'm not doing it now.
Well, see, it's weird that you said that because Rich Lee, the kind of the morning host at the station that I worked at, him and I would often talk in the morning, and I told him, I said, yeah, I'm worried that if I go back to Wise for a little while, that I'll feel like a failure. And he was like, listen, he said, from what I know of you and your life, he said, everything you do career-wise from here on out is icing on the cake. He said, you've done a lot of things that people that's lived their entire life haven't done. I don't view it that way, though. I view it as there's so much more that I should have done in this time allowed, and I need to try to. I stay busy a lot, and I know you do too. But I've been trying to look at the things that he said, because it was last week. He said that last Tuesday, and I was like, you know what, this is just a season of my life coming back. We're doing the show. It doesn't matter where I live now. It doesn't matter what side hustles I have to pick up in order. Just what you saying that the other day about the side hustles made me think, if I've got to pick up some of these little jobs to pursue the dreams and goals that I want to, pursue, then it doesn't matter what anyone else, if they recognize me, wow, you're a waiter. Yeah, I'm a waiter because I'm trying to pursue the, whatever goal it could be.
Pays bills.
So, yeah, I think the perspective of things change too, looking back, because when you're younger, I would never think of the same mindset as some of these things, because success then was different than what success is now to me, though. Because I wanted to be like, like the Will Smith, have millions of dollars, millions of fans, doing these big blockbuster movies, doing the premiere circuit, all the talk shows and all. And now it's kind of like broadcasting is a joy, making these small features, silly little sketches, just writing and someone else doing things, doing the Zoom show. I'm like, that's more success now than I would have ever counted it to be success in the past.